of the century, storm of the century, and this of the century. I mean, this is the find of a lifetime. He is so excited. He is not bothered that he's having to sell all that he has to get it. Now think of what you have. What do you own at this very moment that you'd be willing to deplete all your life savings, retirement if you have it, house, sign it all over and just stack it up, put it on the table and say, I'll give all of that if this is okay. What one thing do you have, or do you have it? And after you do that, as the reference here is, the guy feels like he got the bargain. Because he just gave all that he had and he still had it. And that's the point. There was no tears in the guy's eye over having to sell all that he had because of what he came out with. He had a bargain. He got the kingdom just for all that he had, you see, is how he's looking at this. Now there's one more thing I want you to notice, a distinction between the two parables. And that is how they got found. The treasure is like the guy like me. Back years ago. A long time before y'all were born, actually. Some of you, not this side over here. I was just meandering around the world. Wasn't in search of the kingdom. Matter of fact, I had a lot of other things just the opposite in mind. And just stumbled upon the treasure. I was hard-headed. I was not humble. I don't know if I ever am. It's just, there was nothing at all in my mind about tying into a church. Heaven knows there was nothing in my mind about ever standing up and being a preacher, because I had an idea that that wasn't what you wanted to be. There was nothing cool about being a preacher, you see. They looked weird, they acted weird, just on and on. But somehow, somebody was kind enough to help me find the kingdom. I just stumbled upon it. There are some that I've known that have searched diligently. That's the guy that's like in the peril of the pearl. And then he finds it. In either one of the two cases, there's a treasure found. One just accidentally, and the other's doing it passionately and trying to find it. Now, as you look at that, I want you to see two things here. First of all, one personally, that what a glory it is either which way. Because we benefit. But there's something on the opposite side here as we think about who we are as Christians. Because a lot of times we aren't sure, well, would this person really be interested in studying the Bible or not? Well, 40 years ago, mark Dave Schonhoff off the list because this guy's not interested. But somebody took a little time. They would have rather probably spend more time with somebody that's passionately in church every Sunday and doing right and had his mind right and pretty much had done everything right except he just never committed his life to Christ. So don't judge marking off one or the other. And know that hearts can be open either which way. That even the most ignorant ones, at the right point, the right time, can stumble across a treasure and say, that's pretty good. And it changed a life. So what a great thing we have here, the message that Jesus gives to us. The word of the church. The value that it ought to have for us personally is the most important lesson out of all of this. And if we start bargain hunting and thinking, well, I can get a good deal here, I don't have to put in that much, or oh, it's not worth that, or then you've totally missed. Because if you only spend 10 cents of time and worth on the church, then really, as it comes back to you, it's only worth a dime. But the point is, it's worth everything. It really is. And I know people that mean everything to me because they're part of the church. And there are some in this congregation, There's some in other congregations, there's some in other lands. You feel the same way because you've been there, you've been with these people, and you understand what's going on. Don't let Satan confuse you here. For where your treasure is, there where your heart goes. The work of the church. Put it foremost in your mind. Think about those people that have lost that worth and what we can do to help restore that in their minds and their hearts. Because it needs to be there. And as much as what it does for us, it can turn their lives around. And so it needs to be. We'll wrap the lesson up with just a simple invitation. Is your life right with God? Number one, is your church really your focus and priority? Are you living the way you ought to live? Have you ever made a commitment to Christ in baptism? Those are things that are very important Bible basics. Got any question about that? You're not ready to make a commitment. Somebody's here ready to help you study. Look at scriptures. We'll tell you what it says. And let you and God work that out. But it's got to be there. God gives us easy, simple directions on how to belong to Him. Becoming a Christian through baptism, being immersed into Christ, and living faithful. So we close with an invitation song. If your heart, your life, whatever is not right with God, then come and stand.